This market is making people poor. All of those hours of research trying to find the best altcoins, and in the end it seems to not even matter. Everything is going down at the same time, and that's not just today, it's a long-term trend. This is the performance today, but here's the performance of the smaller altcoins for the entire year. Pretty much everything is going down. Every single somewhat diversified altcoin portfolio is down. But there's a solution to this problem. And the solution is not to hope for better times. The solution is not even to dollar cost average into the market and buy those dips, because the dips keep dipping. The solution is to use this market structure to our advantage. This is how everybody gets lured into burning their money. How to find the next 100x meme coin, or the top 21 tiny cryptos that can 100x in 2025. Or over here, the next 100x crypto. And of course, there's always a disclaimer around those videos. This is not financial advice. It's all just opinions, etc. But usually those are not even neutral opinions. Very often those kind of videos are even sponsored videos. Either the influencer owns those crypto projects themselves and then they want to push up the price, right? Creating a lot of demand with the viewership. Or alternatively, they got paid directly by the team. Now, I refuse any kind of sponsorship on this channel. I never take any money from any crypto project ever. And when I buy a cryptocurrency, it's always after publishing a video. I try to really avoid this conflict of interest. Still, this doesn't necessarily help against this here. There used to be a time where altcoins were actually a very good investment. That was in 2018, 2019, 2020, 2021. The altcoins are here in white. The Bitcoin price is in green. During a bull market, especially at the end, the altcoins tended to do really well. But then something has changed in the last 2 years. And now Bitcoin outperforms the altcoins. And there's a huge ever-growing delta. What's going on? Something fundamental has shifted in January of 2022. That shift is indicated by this vertical line. What we see over here is the market cap of the altcoins that are not in the top 10, so the smaller altcoins, relative to Bitcoin. In the early years, everybody was hyped about crypto. Everybody wanted to get into the smaller token. But then the Bitcoin ETF came, then institutional money came in, and they mainly got into BTC and Ethereum, not necessarily into the small meme coin. But the situation is actually much worse than this chart implies. The chart implies that the altcoins underperformed Bitcoin by quote-unquote only 78%. And that's over the course of 3.5 years. The reality though is that the price performance was much worse. What we compare here is market caps. The market cap of Bitcoin versus the market cap of the altcoin. But there's a massive difference between market cap and price development. Have a look at WorldCoin, for example. The market cap over the years didn't do that poorly, right? It actually grew across those waves. But once we look at the price development during the same time, it looks abysmal. And so the 78% market cap underperformance really doesn't tell the whole picture. It's much worse. There's all of the price underperformance. The reason why there's such a divergence between market cap and price is token issuance. So the problem is charts like this or charts like this. There's new tokens getting issued all the time. The early investors want to cash out. They get new tokens via vesting unlocks over time. Maybe users of the platform also get some tokens. Maybe the team itself gets some unlocks over time. So there's new tokens that enter the circulating supply all the time. And usually the demand cannot keep up with that additional supply. And that's then what crushes prices like this. Now let's go back to this chart. On the face of it, it seems like it might make sense to buy altcoins now, right? Historically, altcoins aren't that expensive. There used to be some bull markets in the past. Why not buy a few bottoms now? I tell you why. This is the token unlocks across all altcoins over the weeks. So this is just the linear unlocks. So it's roughly 340, 350 million per week. On top of the linear unlocks, we've also got cliff unlocks, right? Those vesting cliffs. That chart is a bit more erratic, it's a bit more volatile, but still on average maybe at least 600 million, maybe 700 million of unlocks every single week. If the altcoin market does not expand at this rate, if money doesn't flow in at that rate, then the outflows will exceed the inflows. And all the outflows caused by the insiders and the team, etc., they then depress the prices. Now, how much of a problem is this? 600, 700 million in required inflows into the altcoins. Let's compare this with Bitcoin. So Bitcoin currently has an inflation rate of 0.84%. And this will be cut in half even in a few years. But let's work with the 0.84%. The market cap of Bitcoin is 2.1 trillion. And so let's run the numbers. 2.1 trillion times 0.84, 0.85%. That's this number over here. We divide this by 52 to get the inflation per week. We come to a number of 343 million. 343 million is the required purchasing to keep Bitcoin's price stable. The altcoin market needs roughly double the US dollar amount to stay stable. Now, this ratio doesn't look too bad, right? Okay, maybe we need more money in order to support the altcoin market, but if enough people are bullish on altcoins, they should still be able to outperform Ethereum and Bitcoin, right? This would be a common thinking. The issue is we did not look at that token inflation or at the required US dollar inflows relative to the market cap yet. The market cap of Bitcoin currently is roughly 9 times the market cap of the altcoins. What does that mean? When the altcoins need double the amount of money flowing in and they are only 1/9 of the size, really the relative effective inflation is 18 times larger for the altcoins. There's just a lot of selling pressure for the altcoins relative to the size of the entire market. Bitcoin has the big advantage of having institutional demand as well, right? Into Bitcoin, we have the ETF flows. We've got the Bitcoin treasury companies like Michael Saylor with MicroStrategy, etc. We've got all of that demand. That demand actually already outpaces the inflation, the 0.85%. For the altcoins, we don't have that demand. And on top of that, we've got all of the selling pressure by the early investors and by the team, etc. That is relative to the market size 18 times as large. Thus, I believe this is an optical illusion. I do not think that the altcoins relative to Bitcoin are very cheap. I think the altcoin market will continue to go down simply because there's too many people that cash out consistently. Really, so many people enter crypto with those false promises of 100x returns made by people that don't care about conflict of interest, that don't care about dumping on the audience. Now, I'm trying to go a different approach with this channel. I'm not taking any money from any project, but also I try to do different approaches. Why try to find the needle in the haystack, the one single altcoin that might do well when again, the market is completely against us. The market is completely rigged. There are still ways to make money. This is my recent performance in the last 2 months, a screenshot I've made recently, and here are a few trades that worked well. Not all trades are going well, but in general, directionally, things are going okay. And our community is doing okay as well. Where does this come from? It comes from doing the exact opposite of what most other people are doing. We are not trying to buy the perfect altcoin, the next 100x gem. We are betting on the market structure. We are betting on all of those constant cash outs continuing to depress the altcoin prices. There is something very important to note though. I do believe that crypto as a market as a whole is still in expansion, as in money is flowing into the market. We see this over here in this chart. This is a stable coin market cap. So crypto contracted after the Terra Luna collapse and after FTX went belly up. But since October of 2023, crypto is expanding again. Money is flowing into the market. The stablecoin market cap is going up. And as an extension, Bitcoin goes up even more. So since October of 2023, the stablecoin market cap went up by a bit under 100%, but the Bitcoin price, it went up by 300%, so more than 3x the return. And so when money continues to flow in through various avenues, we're likely going to continue to see higher Bitcoin prices. I do think that 1 year from now, we're likely going to see 200K in Bitcoin, potentially even more than that. And because of all of those inflows, the situation for many altcoins doesn't really look that bad. Even though there's all those cash outs, the prices, the US dollar prices, might not go down that much. There is correlation within crypto, right? So when Bitcoin doubles, the altcoins can go up as well. But the point is, the altcoins are likely not going to go up as much. They might go up 50% instead of 100%, but they still might go up. So what I think is the best strategy in this market, if we want to bet on the market structure, we want to hedge our shorts. So we bet on falling prices of altcoins because everybody is cashing out all the time. But at the same time, we also go long. We bet on rising prices of Bitcoin and Ethereum and Solana. So the idea really is to play this ever expanding delta, that the altcoins continue to do worse because of all of the cash outs, and that Bitcoin will continue to go up because there's still money inflows into the crypto market. Again, the token inflation for altcoins relative to their market size is 18 times higher than for Bitcoin. This very, very likely will continue to stay a bearish trend. The altcoins will continue to bleed. The worst thing to do in a situation like this, right, when the portfolio is down everywhere, when everything is in the red, is to double down on the same strategy. Because what didn't work in the last years, it's very likely not going to continue to work given the circumstance. It's much better to see reality for what it is and to quit hoping and to actually be on the winner side, to make money in similar ways as the insiders do. So yeah, this is how the altcoins underperformed Bitcoin over the last 3.5 years, right? Just the market cap. But once we look at individual prices, it's much, much worse. So this, for example, is Balancer relative to Ethereum. And that went down in the last years by 99%. 99%. This is not just random, right? This is not coincidence. There's something mechanically going on. And that mechanics is payouts. It's a token that inflates over time. But the nice thing is we can flip this chart. We can make this performance. So we are betting on the market leader to outperform the crappy altcoin. Or in other words, this chart to continue to have higher deltas over time. Here, by the way, is my personal performance in the last 4 years. Had I just dollar cost average into Bitcoin, I would have gotten this light gray line. But because I bet on relative valuations as well, I got the black return. So at the bottom, we see the data points. So this is monthly data. And I wonder if you get the same kind of data from other influencers. I doubt it, for good reason, right? Those people don't make money in crypto with honest trading. Now, all of this always sounds nice, right? The question is, how will it then materialize in practice? I thought about how can I make this the least risky for people that just start out with this strategy. Here is my offer. Get into premium and watch 2 videos. Watch this one, using perpetual futures on Hyperliquid, and watch this one, risk management with relative valuation bets. Only watch those 2 videos, so they are 30 minutes each in length. Once you have done this, join the premium Telegram. So you'll get instructions on the website how to join the premium Telegram. Not the public one, the premium one. Once you have joined, I will get a notification and I will share my favorite trade with you. This is the performance of that trade. There's pretty much no 1 week period where this did not make gains. The performance is very consistent under very low volatility. It's currently my largest altcoin trade as well. And I will share exactly this position once you join. And here's the kicker. If you open that position and after 1 week you are not in profit with that position, I will refund premium for you and you will get the entire month for free. So you'll just continue using premium. I'll refund you and you just let me know at what price did you enter, what's currently the price after 7 days. And if you're not in profit, again, there's my money back guarantee for you. Now tell me about one other crypto YouTuber that's willing to give a guarantee like this. It's currently $125 per month. So if you've got a portfolio that's a few $1,000s, not just a few hundred, but a few $1,000s, you should be okay to make that money back fairly quickly. Just for reference, how quickly is this trade, my favorite trade, currently going up? Let's take the higher prices over here, take roughly 1 month of return. It's 35%. And you can lever this up even if you wanted to, because again, the volatility of this trade is rather low. So looking very much forward to seeing you on premium. The link is over here. Just click on that. It will lead you directly to the sign up website. If it's the very first time here on YouTube, feel free to subscribe. I publish this regularly. A like would be very much appreciated as well. It helps the channel grow. See you next time on YouTube or see you in premium.